Centuries had passed since humans stopped using weapons of war. On Earth, life had become calm and peaceful. Cities floated with clean energy, and children played without fear. Most humans did not even remember the stories of the old wars. Yet, in the vast reaches of space, something stirred that would remind everyone why humanity was never truly ordinary. Far beyond the solar system, a small alien scout ship hovered silently near the edge of the Oort cloud. Its crew, a mixture of sleek, insect-like beings and glowing humanoids, scanned the void with nervous energy. The sensors detected a faint signal, old and faint, but unmistakable, human technology. "This is ancient," whispered the insectoid navigator. "Centuries old, but it is powerful." The glowing humanoid, taller and calm, tilted its head. "The legends say humans abandoned these weapons because they were too dangerous. Are we certain this is them?" "Yes," the navigator replied. "This is the signature we have chased for 1,000 light years. The humans left a trail, and we finally found it." Meanwhile, in a quiet asteroid research station near Jupiter, Dr. Mara Linton adjusted her instruments. She had spent her life studying small anomalies in the solar system, patterns that others ignored. Today, she noticed unusual energy readings. Her eyes widened. This isn't natural," she murmured. "It's the same pattern my grandfather called the old pulse, but that tech hasn't existed in centuries." Outside, the stars seemed to shimmer strangely, unknown to the humans. Alien ships began moving into position around the solar system. They were behind asteroids, behind faint clouds of gas, and even near the orbit of distant Neptune. Their purpose was clear: recover the old human weapons before another faction could. Back on the scout ship, tension grew. One of the insectoid warriors broke the silence. "We must act fast. If the other faction reaches the weapons first, we could face total defeat. Human tech is unmatched, even if it's centuries old." The humanoid nodded. "Then we wait, but quietly. Humans must not know we are here, not yet." Deep within the asteroid station, Mara finally traced the source of the signal. She noticed it was not from Earth nor Mars, but from a location hidden beyond the orbit of Pluto. The readings were erratic, but familiar. She could not explain why her hands shook as she recorded the data. Something was coming, something that had been sleeping for a very long time. Suddenly, a shadow passed over the station's observation dome. Mara ran to the window. She froze. Small, silver ships darted among the distant asteroids. They moved with a precision that felt alien. Her mind raced. "Aliens," she whispered. "But why? Why now?" In the alien ships, debate grew louder. The factions argued in sharp clicks and hums. "The humans abandoned their weapons for peace," said one, "but the designs still exist. Whoever controls them controls the galaxy. And if humans discover us," hissed another, "they are weak, but unpredictable. They have a history of cleverness we cannot ignore." Mara, still watching from her station, had no way of knowing she was correct. Humans had been underestimated for centuries. The galaxy had forgotten what humans could do when pushed. On the edge of the asteroid belt, one alien scout approached a relic buried in ice, a capsule, old and corroded, left by humans thousands of years ago. Strange symbols adorned it, and Mara's instruments began to register its energy spike. The humans might not have used these weapons for centuries, but the universe had not forgotten them. Back on Earth, life continued as normal. Children ran through gardens, parents discussed daily life, and humanity smiled at its own peace. Yet, in the shadows of space, centuries-old human technology stirred interest in creatures who had never faced humanity directly. A crackle of energy pulsed through Mara's lab. Her screens flashed warnings she could not read. A message seemed to pulse through space itself, a silent alarm only her instruments could catch. The alien scouts had begun their hunt. Somewhere far away, a high-ranking alien commander spoke into a strange device. "Prepare the fleet. The humans do not even know what they left behind. We will retrieve it and no one will stop us." Mara's breath quickened. She did not yet understand what she had discovered, but instinct told her something dangerous was approaching. The calm of centuries was ending. Something long forgotten, the human arsenal, was about to pull humanity back into a galaxy that thought they were no longer a threat. And for the first time in hundreds of years, humans were about to be noticed again. The solar system had never felt so quiet. On Earth, people went about their peaceful lives, unaware of the alien eyes watching from the shadows. In the vast emptiness near Jupiter, the first alien ships began to take positions, scanning the planets and moons for the source of the ancient human signals. Dr. Mara Linton's lab was a flurry of activity. Her instruments had gone wild after the signal spike from the hidden capsule in the ice. Every sensor screamed with unknown readings, energy pulses she had never seen before. She could feel her heart racing. Suddenly, a soft vibration shook the asteroid station. Lights flickered as the main screen displayed a shape in the distance, a small, sleek alien ship gliding silently among the stars. Mara froze. The ship was unlike anything humans had built. Its surface shimmered, reflecting the distant sun, yet it moved as if alive. This isn't a natural object, she whispered. The alien scout inside the ship scanned the station. It had been programmed to observe, not attack. But curiosity, and a deep-seated need to claim the human weapon, made it linger. Inside the station, Mara activated the communication array, hoping to identify the ship. "This is Dr. Mara Linton of the Jupiter Research Station." What are you?" There was no response. The alien ship hovered silently. It seemed to study the humans as one might study an ant farm. Curious, cautious, calculating. Back on the alien scout ship, the humanoid commander tapped its glowing fingers on the console. "Do not engage," it ordered. "We are here for the technology, not the humans. They must not know our purpose yet." But the insectoid warrior beside it clicked in frustration. "They are clever. If they interfere, they could ruin everything. The humans are primitive, yes, but unpredictable. On Earth, the first human awareness of the aliens came in small ways. Satellites detected unusual movements, energy readings, and brief flashes of light in the asteroid belt. News channels scrambled to report unknown objects in the solar system, but the world dismissed it as space debris. Meanwhile, Mara and her small team worked tirelessly. They realized that the energy spike they detected near Pluto was growing. The readings were not natural. Something, or someone, was moving the capsule. The humans had accidentally triggered attention from the alien scouts. The alien ships had already begun scanning other parts of the asteroid belt. Their instruments could detect the faint traces of old human weapons buried in ice, even after centuries. To the aliens, this was a treasure hunt, and they were close. Inside the asteroid station, Mara's assistant Jaren looked at the data with wide eyes. "These signals, they're not from the solar system. Something or someone is looking for us, or looking for our history." Mara's mind raced. She remembered the old stories her grandfather told, how humans once built weapons that could destroy entire fleets. "We left those weapons behind for a reason," she whispered. "And yet, someone still wants them." The first real encounter happened without warning. A small alien scout ship moved close enough that its shadow darkened part of the asteroid station. Mara held her breath. The ship hovered in silence, energy pulsing faintly across its surface. Inside, the aliens observed human behavior. They were impressed at how humans had adapted to life without powerful technology. Still, they did not understand the human mind fully. That gap in understanding would soon prove critical. Suddenly, the alien ship sent a beam of light, scanning the station. Mara watched as the instruments went wild. The beam paused over a small display of her grandfather's old human blueprints. The same designs for ancient weapons the aliens sought. The aliens were stunned. "They have kept it hidden, yet it still exists," the humanoid commander whispered. "This is more than we expected. We must act carefully." Mara, sensing danger, initiated the station's emergency protocols. Doors sealed, communications encrypted. Yet, despite her preparations, she could feel that the aliens were not here to destroy. At least, not yet. They were here to observe, to understand, to claim something humans had abandoned centuries ago. The tension in space was almost tangible. The alien ships moved like predators, silent and precise, while the humans scrambled, unaware of the larger stakes. Every small action could trigger an event that might change the course of the solar system. And somewhere far away, the hidden capsule in the ice pulsed faintly. The first contact had begun, and with it, the humans were unknowingly stepping into a galaxy-wide conflict, one that revolved around weapons they had long stopped using and intelligence that others had long forgotten humans possessed. The first encounter had ended without a shot fired, but the message was clear. Humanity was no longer invisible, and the galaxy was watching. Space above the solar system had never felt so tense. Alien ships moved like shadows between the planets, their sensors locked on the faint signals of the old human technology. Two factions, long rivals, had discovered the same trace and were preparing to claim it. The first faction, sleek and silver with glowing patterns across their hulls, advanced carefully. Their commander, a humanoid named Caliph, barked orders. We take the weapon first. We cannot let the others touch it. Move in formation. Stay hidden until the final approach. Across the belt, the second faction, darker and jagged, clicked in coordination. Their insectoid leader, Thrix, hissed at his crew. The humans abandoned it centuries ago, yet its power remains. We will strike first. No mercy, no hesitation. Neither faction noticed the humans observing them. Dr. Mara Linton and her small team from the Asteroid station. The humans watched through telescopes and energy sensors, trying to understand the ships. Mara's mind raced. They fight over something we left behind, something we don't even use anymore, she whispered. The first shots of the alien conflict were almost invisible. Energy pulses and silent beams sliced through the void, narrowly missing asteroids as the two factions tested each other's strength. Kalith's fleet fired a warning pulse that Thrix barely dodged. The solar system itself seemed to hold its breath. Jaren, Mara's assistant, stared at the readings. They're fighting over us? He asked, fear creeping into his voice. No, Mara said, shaking her head. Not us, our history. Our old weapons. That's what they want. The conflict escalated quickly. One of the jagged ships fired a pulse that ripped through the belt, sending small asteroids tumbling. Mara's station shook violently, alarm screaming as debris passed dangerously close. The humans had never faced anything like this, but the aliens underestimated one thing: human unpredictability. From the asteroid station, Mara began to devise a plan. Using the readings from the hidden capsule, she realized the humans could manipulate energy fields in ways the aliens had forgotten. Even centuries old, their technology could be dangerous in skilled hands. Meanwhile, Caliph and Thrix fought intensely. Their ships weaved in complex patterns, firing and dodging, each strike calculated. Both factions wanted the same target: the ice capsule containing the remnants of human weapons. Whoever claimed it first would gain a power that could dominate galaxies. In the chaos, a small human research shuttle drifted toward the conflict. Mara shouted at her team, "No, stay back." But the shuttle had its own automated systems. It moved toward the alien fleets, unknowingly putting humans in the middle of the fight. The aliens noticed immediately. Humans? Thrix hissed, almost laughing at the irony. They are interfering unarmed, yet they risk everything. Caliph paused, considering. Do we strike them? He asked, his sensors analyzing the shuttle. No, the other replied. They may be weak, but they are clever. We cannot risk alerting them fully, not yet. For the first time, humans saw the sheer scale of the alien fleets. Ships of all shapes and sizes, glowing weapons charging, moving faster than human eyes could track. Yet even in the midst of superior alien technology, humans showed signs of courage. Mara and Jaren worked to redirect minor energy fields, unintentionally causing confusion among the alien fleets. A pulse from their shuttle bounced between asteroids, forcing two alien ships to misfire and collide slightly. It was a small victory, but it showed that humans, though weaker, were not helpless. Even centuries after abandoning war, the ingenuity of humanity could disrupt the plans of far superior forces. The battle continued in bursts, each faction testing the other, while Mara and her team watched in awe and fear. No one fired directly at the humans yet, but the tension was undeniable. One wrong move could destroy their station, or worse, trigger a galaxy-wide incident. Then, a strange phenomenon appeared near the capsule. Energy readings spiked violently. Both alien factions paused, wary of an unknown variable. Mara's heart raced. The capsule, long forgotten by humans, seemed to respond to conflict. Somehow, it was reacting to the alien presence, almost as if it had been waiting. Caliph frowned. "It is alive?" Thrix clicked nervously. "No, it is ancient, dangerous. Proceed with caution." Mara realized the truth. The humans had never needed these weapons, but the universe had not forgotten them. Even now, centuries later, their history could change the balance of power. The first real battle of the alien conflict had begun. Humans were caught in the middle, watching the galaxy remember what they had long abandoned. Their weapons might be silent, but the legacy of human ingenuity was far from gone. And somewhere in the icy shadow of Pluto, the hidden capsule pulsed again, waiting for a moment when humans could rise. Not as victims, but as the unexpected force the galaxy had long underestimated. The alien fleet still fought above the asteroid belt, unaware that the humans had begun their own plan. Dr. Mara Linton and her team worked frantically in the asteroid station, studying the hidden capsule. Though centuries had passed since humans last used these weapons, the knowledge was reserved in old blueprints, notes, and encoded manuals her grandfather had secretly saved. Mara's hands shook as she opened the capsule. Inside, she found strange devices, small, metallic, and seemingly inert. Yet the energy readings were off the charts. These are our weapons," she whispered, on her voice. "We stopped using them centuries ago, but they still work." Her assistant, Jaren, frowned. "Are you sure we should touch them?" "The aliens." "Do not underestimate humans," Mara interrupted. "We may not fight like we used to, but we are clever. That is what they have forgotten." The team worked quickly, connecting the devices to the station's energy system. Slowly, the weapons activated, releasing faint pulses of light. They were quiet, unassuming, but Mara knew that if used correctly, these old designs could disrupt entire fleets. Outside, the alien factions noticed a strange phenomenon. Energy fields in the asteroid belt began fluctuating, small bursts of interference disrupting their weapons. Kalitha's ship jolted slightly, unable to fire accurately. "What is this?" he demanded. Thrix hissed. "The humans, they're interfering." "But how? They should be weak, defenseless." Inside the station, Mara smiled. "It's working. They think we are defenseless, but we are not." They forgot one thing humans always had: creativity. Using the asteroid terrain, the humans began to set traps. Small drones carried the activated weapons, hiding them among the rocks. When alien energy beams approached, the devices triggered pulses, sending alien ships off course. A small pulse could make a massive ship misfire, collide with another, or be thrown out of position entirely. The humans had not fired a single traditional shot, yet their impact was felt immediately. Aliens started to realize that something in the asteroid belt was disturbing their plans. Kalitha's voice was tense. "They are cleverer than expected. We underestimated them." Thrix clicked angrily. "We should destroy the humans. They are dangerous." But the humanoid commander of Kalitha's faction shook its head. "No. If we attack, we risk losing the weapon entirely. Observe them. Study them. They may be useful." Meanwhile, Mara noticed a pattern. The weapons responded not just to energy signals, but to human commands and reasoning. They were simple in design, but required clever handling, exactly the kind of thinking humans excelled at. Jaren pointed at the screen. "They're coming closer. The factions, if we miscalculate, they'll destroy the station." Mara's eyes gleamed. "Then we will use our ingenuity. Humans survive where others fail because we think, adapt, and improvise. Let's show them what centuries of peace cannot erase." Using small, calculated pulses, the humans created illusionary targets, fooling the aliens into attacking empty rocks or chasing false energy trails. One alien ship collided with a small moon fragment, causing a chain reaction of debris. Another fired into a harmless energy field, wasting its strongest weapon. The humans began to understand the alien tactics. predicting movements and countering them with minimal effort. Even centuries after abandoning war, humans could still outthink a technologically superior enemy. Outside, Caliph and Thrix watched in disbelief. "These humans," Caliph muttered, "they should be weak. Yet they manipulate the battlefield without even leaving their station." The HFY moment was clear. The humans were proving that intelligence, strategy, and ingenuity could surpass brute strength. Aliens had superior weapons, but humans had the mind. Mara smiled as she prepared for the next phase. "We have only begun. They want our past, but they don't realize the present can fight back." And in the distance, the hidden capsule pulsed again, almost as if acknowledging the humans' clever use of its secrets. The galaxy had underestimated humanity, and for the first time in centuries, humans were no longer invisible. The asteroid belt was alive with subtle movement from their hidden station. Dr. Mara Linton and her team watched as the alien fleets adjusted positions, unaware that humans had laid out a trap centuries in the making. The weapons they had awakened were no longer just relics. They were instruments of strategy, waiting for the perfect moment. Mara moved quickly between consoles. "Remember," she said to her team, "they are strong, but we are smarter. Patience is our weapon." Jaren nodded, checking the energy fields. "The pulse markers are ready. They won't see it coming." The first phase of the trap began. Small drones carrying human weapons drifted among the asteroids. They mimicked the energy signature of a massive weapon, drawing alien attention. Kalith's faction focused on the decoy, confident that their sensors had detected the true source. Thrix hissed angrily, "They trick us. Focus on the central target." But Mara knew exactly how the aliens thought. "Let them chase the illusion," she whispered. "They will reveal themselves." As the alien ships moved into the trap, energy pulses activated. Minor asteroids detonated small bursts, creating a chain reaction that sent debris flying into the path of unsuspecting alien vessels. One JAG ship clipped a moving asteroid and spun out of control, forcing nearby ships to adjust or risk collision. Kalith's fleet was momentarily thrown into chaos. "Impossible," he barked. "How can these humans manipulate our movements from that station?" Inside, Mara and her team barely contained their excitement. They had predicted every alien maneuver and used it against them. The humans had not fired a single weapon directly. The trap relied on thinking, planning, and timing, human ingenuity at its finest. A second phase began. The hidden capsule in the ice pulsed in response to the energy fields Mara's team had activated. The pulse created a disorienting wave that scrambled alien sensors, making their ships appear in multiple locations at once. Thrix hissed in frustration. "They are everywhere and nowhere." Jaren laughed quietly. "This is working better than I imagined. They can't tell what's real." Caliph clenched his fists. "They are cleverer than we anticipated. We underestimated them, and now we are paying the price." But the humans were not finished. Mara activated another wave from the station, guiding debris and energy pulses to her exact design. Alien ships collided, misfired, and fell into pockets of zero-gravity traps hidden among the asteroids. What seemed like luck was pure strategy. From space, it appeared that the humans were tiny, fragile creatures, easy to destroy. But the aliens did not understand the subtle brilliance of human thinking. Every pulse, every diversion, every manipulation of energy and terrain came from human experience, centuries of adaptation, and a mind capable of thinking outside patterns. One alien ship, seeing the chaos, tried to retreat, but the humans had anticipated this. Mara directed a controlled energy pulse, gently nudging the ship back into the trap. The alien commander realized too late that their movements had been predicted. "Stop them." Thrix hissed, but it was futile. Each step the aliens took played directly into human hands. The humans had created a pocket of advantage, a battlefield where the alien superior technology could not operate effectively. Even centuries-old weapons, guided by clever minds, could control the outcome. Mara took a deep breath, watching the alien fleet scramble. "This is only the beginning," she said. "We are showing them humans are not weak. We are showing them that our ingenuity is more dangerous than any weapon." Jaren smiled. "They wanted our past, but they are being defeated by our present." Outside, the capsule pulsed again, almost like a heartbeat. The humans were learning how to use its secrets, how to turn abandoned technology into a tool for survival. And the galaxy, which had long underestimated humanity, was beginning to pay attention. In the shadows, Kaleth and Thrix realized a harsh truth. These humans, long thought primitive, had outwitted them, not with brute force, but with thinking, planning, and creativity. The trap had worked perfectly. The alien factions were confused, their strategies unraveling, and the humans had proven one undeniable truth. Brains could surpass technology, even technology that spanned centuries. And in the distance, hidden among the icy rocks, the capsule continued to pulse. It had chosen its moment well, guiding humanity to the first step in a battle the galaxy would never forget. The alien fleets were still reeling from the traps set by the humans. What had started as a defensive maneuver was now transforming into an offensive opportunity. Dr. Mara Linton and her team had discovered something crucial. The old human weapons were not just tools. They were extensions of human creativity, and used wisely, they could dictate the battlefield. Mara tapped her console. "Jaren, initiate the next phase. We can't just wait. We need to push back now." Jaren nodded, hands flying across the controls. Small drones carrying modified human weapons drifted from the station, moving with perfect precision. Unlike the alien ships, they could adapt, change formation, and think independently, guided by human logic. In space, the aliens began to notice a pattern. Energy pulses, previously random, now targeted their weaknesses. One alien cruiser, confident in its size and firepower, misjudged the trajectory of a human pulse and was thrown off course, colliding lightly with a small asteroid. Another misfired, destroying part of its own fleet unintentionally. Kaleth stared at his controls in disbelief. They are not just defending, they are attacking, but silently. Strategically, every move we make is anticipated. Thrix hissed, "We cannot allow this. These humans, they are unpredictable. They are manipulating our own tactics against us." Inside the asteroid station, Mara smiled. "They rely on brute strength and superior tech. We rely on thinking, adaptation, and timing. That is why we can win." The humans now began active strikes. Using energy pulses and old weapons, they created fields that trapped alien ships in miniature mazes of debris and energy distortions. The alien fleets, though technologically superior, could not navigate the traps efficiently. Each ship that entered the maze risked misfiring, colliding, or being temporarily disabled. Jaren pointed to the screen. "Mara, they're starting to retreat in small groups. They don't understand the full scope of our tactics." Mara shook her head. "No, they don't. But soon they will, and that is when we strike fully." Using the human weapons, Mara and her team sent pulses that temporarily disabled alien shields, allowing targeted strikes against key vessels. The aliens realized too late that they were being outmaneuvered by creatures they considered primitive. Kaleth's voice was tense. "We underestimated them. Their weapons are centuries old, yet they control them with intelligence we cannot match." Thrix's clicking grew frantic. "They are too clever. Fall back. Regroup." But the humans had already planned for this. The asteroid field became a perfect stage for a counteroffensive. Human drones guided by Mara's strategy moved with precision, striking at alien weak points while avoiding heavy fire. Each move maximized effect and minimized risk, a true testament to human ingenuity. For the first time, the aliens began to fear the humans, not for their size or firepower, but for their cleverness, their ability to turn abandoned technology into lethal strategy. Mara leaned back, exhausted but exhilarated. "We've only just begun. They thought our past was forgotten, but the present is ours." In space, the alien fleets began to scatter, confused and wary. Their once confident assault had turned into a defensive retreat. The humans, using their intellect and centuries-old weapons, had shifted the balance of power. The hidden capsule pulsed brighter than ever. Its secrets, long dormant, now guided humanity in ways even the aliens could not predict. Humans had turned from passive observers to the unexpected force the galaxy had feared. Jaren grinned. "We're actually doing it. We're winning." Mara nodded. "Winning doesn't just mean defeating them. It means proving that humans, even after centuries of peace, are not weak. We are clever, adaptable, and capable of changing the rules of any conflict. From the alien perspective, Calith and Thrix realized a frightening truth. Humanity was a wild card in the galaxy. Weapons, no matter how old, were dangerous in human hands because humans themselves were unpredictable. They did not just fight. They thought, adapted, and used the battlefield as part of their strategy. As the alien fleet slowly retreated, space seemed to hold its breath. The humans had turned the tide of what could have been a devastating confrontation. They had survived, and more than that, they had shown the galaxy that humanity's ingenuity was far more dangerous than anyone imagined. The asteroid station pulsed with energy, the capsule glowing faintly. It had chosen well. The humans, centuries after abandoning their weapons, had proven that brains and creativity could outweigh size, strength, and even advanced alien technology. Mara whispered, almost to herself, "The galaxy may have forgotten us, but it will never forget again." The alien fleets had retreated beyond the solar system, their pride wounded and their plans disrupted. Space above Earth and the asteroid belt returned to a tense silence, broken only by the soft hum of human instruments. Humanity had survived a conflict it had not sought, and in doing so, had proven something long forgotten. Humans were clever, adaptable, and dangerous, even without the use of weapons for centuries. Dr. Mara Linton leaned against a console, exhausted but elated. Her team had turned ancient technology into a tool for survival, using intelligence and strategy to outthink forces far superior in power. Jaren, checking the last of the energy readings, shook his head in disbelief. "We did it. We actually did it. They came for our history, and we defended ourselves with nothing but brains and cleverness." Mara nodded. "Yes, and they will remember. The galaxy has learned what humans can do, not because of strength or numbers, but because of ingenuity. That is our weapon, our true power." Outside, the hidden capsule continued to pulse faintly, as if acknowledging its role in humanity's victory. Its secrets had guided the humans, but now they understood that their real strength was not in the old devices. It was in themselves. In the days following the battle, humanity slowly returned to its daily life. Children played in gardens, cities thrived with clean energy, and people went about their peaceful routines. Yet, something had changed. Humanity was no longer invisible. The galaxy had taken notice. Far beyond the solar system, the alien commanders Calith and Thrix communicated in frustrated tones. "We underestimated them," Calith admitted. "They were weak, yet they controlled the battlefield. How is this possible? They are unpredictable," Thrix hissed. "We cannot fully understand them. Their thinking is not like ours. Even ancient technology is deadly in human hands." Back on Earth, Mara recorded the events for future generations, knowing that the story of humanity's ingenuity would be important not just as history, but as a lesson. The humans had faced a galaxy that sought their abandoned weapons and survived, not by violence alone, but by cleverness and strategy. Yet, the pulse of the hidden capsule suggested that the story was not over. Somewhere, beyond the reach of human sensors, other alien civilizations were likely watching. They would know that humans, though seemingly peaceful, were capable of brilliance and danger, and that knowledge would ripple across the stars. Mara walked along the observation deck, staring at the stars. "We stopped using our weapons centuries ago," she said softly, "but they never stopped being part of who we are. And the galaxy will never forget humanity again." Jaren looked at her. "Do you think they'll come back?" Mara smiled faintly. "Perhaps. But they will remember that humans are not to be underestimated. That is a lesson of this century and the one before it. Humans survive, humans adapt, and humans will fight cleverly when they must." The solar system slowly returned to calm. The alien fleets were gone, at least for now. Humans had reclaimed the quiet centuries they had once taken for granted. But the echoes of the conflict lingered in every asteroid, every pulse of energy, and every corner of space where the galaxy had learned to notice humanity again. And somewhere, deep within the icy shadow of Pluto, the hidden capsule pulsed one last time that night, as if resting after centuries of waiting. It had chosen its moment, guided humanity to victory, and reminded the galaxy that humans, even after centuries of peace, were a force to be reckoned with. For the first time in a long time, humans felt not just safe, but unseen no longer. Their ingenuity, courage, and cleverness had turned a passive past into an active future. The galaxy would remember, and humanity would continue to rise, not through sheer strength, but through the brilliance that made them truly unique. The stars stretched endlessly above, and somewhere, far away, alien scouts were already sending reports. Humanity's story had begun anew, and the universe was listening. The century of forgotten weapons was over. The century of remembered brilliance had begun. The solar system had quieted once more. Earth rotated peacefully beneath its sun, the asteroid belt glinting silently in the distance. Humanity had survived, outsmarted two alien factions, and proven that intelligence and ingenuity were more powerful than sheer firepower. Dr. Mara Linton stared at the stars from the observation deck of her asteroid station. The hidden capsule, now secured deep within the ice, pulsed faintly as if acknowledging its part in humanity's defense. Mara smiled softly. "We did what we had to do, but this feels too calm." Jaren, leaning over her shoulder, frowned. "Do you really think they're gone? The aliens, Kaleth and Thrix, they won't forget. And there are others out there, watching." Mara's gaze didn't waver. "Maybe, but humanity has learned something important. Cleverness, strategy, and adaptability. These are our weapons now, and we'll use them when the time comes." Unbeknownst to them, deep beyond the Kuiper Belt, a new presence drifted silently through the shadows. Larger than any human or alien ship they had seen, it emitted a strange pulse, different from the old weapons, different from any alien technology they had encountered. It was deliberate, cautious, and intelligent. A small probe, sent from Mara's station to scan the outer reaches, detected the anomaly. Its readings caused the sensors to spike violently, creating alarms that echoed through the station. Mara rushed to the console. "What is it?" she asked, tension rising in her voice. Jaren's fingers flew across the keyboard. I don't know. It's not one of the fleets we fought. It's something else, something new, and it's huge." The probe transmitted images of an immense structure floating in deep space. Its surface was smooth, metallic, and covered with glowing lines of energy. It did not resemble any ship known to humans or the alien factions they had encountered. Its sheer size suggested a power the galaxy had never seen. Mara swallowed hard. "It's watching us." In the darkness, the structure pulsed again, sending a wave of energy that barely reached the outer planets. The pulse wasn't destructive, but it was noticeable, an invitation and a warning at the same time. "Are we in danger?" Jaren asked quietly. Mara shook her head slowly. "We don't know yet, but whatever it is, it's intelligent. And it knows humans exist. That is why we must be ready." The hidden capsule pulsed in response to the strange energy wave. It was as if it recognized a new presence, alerting the humans that their ingenuity would soon be tested again. On Earth, life continued peacefully, unaware of the new eyes in the solar system. But Mara and her team knew better. Humanity had survived its first test, outsmarting alien factions over centuries-old weapons. Now, a new threat loomed, one that might not rely on technology the humans understood, and one that could challenge their cleverness in ways they had never imagined. Mara turned to Jaren, her expression firm. "Prepare the station. Run all simulations. Study every ancient weapon and develop new strategies. We may not fight with brute force, but we will fight with intelligence. And that is something no enemy can fully predict." As they worked, the enormous structure pulsed once more. A small message, encoded in energy, reached the probe. It was a pattern too complex for humans to decode fully. But one thing was clear. The galaxy was far from done with humanity. Somewhere, far away, Kaleth and Thrix also noticed the pulse. They stopped their own maneuvers, realizing that the humans had survived their encounter and that something far greater was approaching. Back on the station, Mara whispered to herself, "The galaxy may have underestimated us once, but it will never underestimate humanity again. Whatever comes next, we are ready." And in the silent, cold depths of space, the new presence watched and waited, aware of humans for the first time. The story of forgotten weapons, clever strategies, and human ingenuity was over, for now. But a new chapter was beginning, one that would challenge the very limits of human cunning and courage. The pulse of the hidden capsule faded slightly, as if resting, waiting for the humans to rise once more. The century of remembered brilliance had only begun, and the galaxy had yet to see the true power of humanity.